Hello everyone. Today we'll discuss about the unique features of the Indian Constitution. Students, as you know, the Constitution of India is a most comprehensive document. It is unique in many ways. It cannot be fitted in any particular model. It is a blend of the rigid and flexible, federal and unitary, and presidential and parliamentary system. It attempts a balance between the fundamental rights of the individual on one hand and socio-economic interest of the people and security of the state on the other. Also, it presents a via media between the principles of parliamentary sovereignty and judicial supremacy. Moving on to see the salient features of the Indian Constitution. The first one is it's a written constitution. As you know, the Republic of India has a written and enacted constitution. It contains 448 articles divided into 25 parts, 12 schedules, and 3 appendices. In its present form, it covers 319 octavo pages. Another one, the longest known constitution. The Constitution of India has the distinction of being the most lengthy and detailed constitutional document the world has produced so far. The original constitution contained as many as 395 articles, divided into 22 parts and 8 schedules, to which additions were made by subsequent amendments. Students, the bulk of the constitution continues to be still increasing. The third feature is popular sovereignty. As you know, the constitution proclaims the sovereignty of the people in its opening words. The preamble begins with the word, "We, the people of India, having solemnly resolved to constitute India into a sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic republic." As a result, the government at the center and in the state derive their authority from the people, who choose their representatives for parliament and state legislatures at regular intervals. Further, those who wield the executive power of the government are responsible to the legislature and through them to the people. This, the affairs of the state, it is the will of the people that prevails ultimately. And this is the principle of popular sovereignty. Moving on to see the next one. Another feature is sovereign democratic republic. As you know, the preamble of the Constitution declares India to be a sovereign democratic republic. It's a sovereign since India has merged as a completely independent state. When we use the word democratic, it signifies that real power emanates from the people. And the word republic is used to denote that the state is headed not by a permanent head like Queen of Britain, but by a president indirectly elected by the people. Another feature, both rigid and flexible. Indian constitution is partly rigid and partly flexible. The procedure laid down by the constitution for its amendment is neither very easy nor very rigid. The Constitution of India strikes a golden mean, thereby avoiding the extreme flexibility of the English Constitution and the extreme rigidity of the American Constitution. As you know, it is only the amendment of few of the provisions of the Constitution that requires ratification by the state legislature, and even then ratification by only half of them would suffice. The rest of the Constitution may be amended by a special majority of the Union Parliament, that is a majority of not less than two-thirds of the members of each house present and voting, which again must be the majority of the total membership of the House. On the other hand, Parliament has been given the power to alter or modify many of the provisions of the Constitution by simple majority, as it is required for general legislation, by laying down in the Constitution that such changes shall not be deemed to be amendments of the Constitution. The very fact that within a period of 58 years, the Constitution had been amended more than 100 times proves that the Constitution is flexible. It should, however, be noted that the basic structure of the Constitution cannot be amended. Another feature of the Indian Constitution is cabinet government. The Constitution establishes cabinet type of government both at the center and in the states. The most distinctive feature of cabinet system of government is the complete and continuous responsibility of the executive to the legislature. The cabinet is composed of Prime Minister, who is the chief of the executive, and his senior colleagues who share the responsibility with him for the formulation and execution of the policies of the government. Another one is secular state. In a secular state, there is no official or state religion. In its positive aspect, a secular state treats all its citizens alike and gives them equal opportunities. No discrimination can be made on the basis of religion, faith, caste, color, and sex. Every citizen is equal before law. It guarantees to religious minorities the right to maintain their own language and to establish educational institutions of their choice. Another feature is federal system with a unitary bias. India follows a federal structure with a strong center. Powers are divided between union and states. During emergencies, it becomes almost unitary. Another one, fundamental rights. Part 3 of the Constitution guarantees 6 fundamental rights such as equality, freedom, religion, and constitutional remedy, ensuring individual liberty and dignity. These rights are justiciable and inviolable. They are binding on the legislature as well as on the executive. If any of the rights is violated, a citizen has the right to seek the protection of judiciary. Part 4 of the Constitution lists fundamental duties of the citizens as per Article 51A, inspired by the Soviet Constitution, promoting patriotism and social responsibility. Another feature is Directive Principles of State Policy. Students, Part 4 of the Constitution contains social and economic goals for the state, inspired by the Irish Constitution. They are non-justiciable but fundamental in governance. These principles are assurance to the people as to what they can expect from the state, and on the other hand, are directives to the government, central and state, to establish and maintain a new social order in which justice, social, economic, and political shall inform all the institutions of national life. Independent judiciary. The Constitution establishes an independent and powerful judiciary with judicial review to protect the Constitution and fundamental rights of the citizen. And the last one, democratic foundations, which deals with single citizenship, universal adult franchise, and judicial review versus parliamentary supremacy. So the first one, single citizenship. India provides for single citizenship for its citizens, unlike US, which has dual citizenship. Universal adult franchise, that too without communal representation. It means that every adult citizen of India above 18 years has the right to vote, irrespective of religion, caste, gender, income, education, or social status. Without communal representation means that voting rights are not granted separately to any religious or communal groups. All citizens vote in a common electorate. In other words, there are no separate electorates for Hindu, Muslim, Sikh, Christian, or any other community, ensuring political equality, national unity, and the principle of one person, one vote, and one value. Moving on to see the last feature of Indian Constitution that deals with compromise between judicial review and parliamentary supremacy. Students, the Indian Constitution establishes a balanced compromise between judicial review and parliamentary supremacy. While Parliament has the power to make and amend laws under Article 368, the Supreme Court can review these laws to ensure they do not violate the Constitution. Through the basic structure doctrine, that was Keshav Nanda Bharati case 1973, the court limited Parliament's amending power, protecting core constitutional principles like democracy, secularism, and fundamental rights. Thus, India follows constitutional supremacy, where neither Parliament nor the judiciary is absolute, ensuring checks and balances in the democratic system. And with this, we have completed the concept of unique features of the Indian Constitution. Students, if you have enjoyed learning with me, do subscribe to my YouTube channel UPSC Simplified by Anika, and don't forget to hit the like button for this video. Thank you.